Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, I'm just going to show you guys my everyday super natural, super dewy makeup routine. So hopefully you can pick up some new tips and learn how to glow on the outside like you do on the inside. Alright, let's get into it. Hey everyone, the most important part of any makeup routine is your moisturizer. This one's literally just the Target brand moisturizer. It's awesome because it's not scented, it's pretty good, and it's cheap. So it's really important to prep your skin. Even if you have oily skin, it's really important to moisturize because sometimes your skin can actually overproduce oil because it's dry. For my next step, I'm gonna go in with foundation. When I'm trying to go a light coverage day, I usually just use foundation because I don't actually apply it all over my face. And I find if I use concealer, sometimes it shows like a lot of contrast between my skin that has makeup on it and my skin that doesn't have makeup on it. I usually just take some foundation and I put that everywhere where I want to cover. I just like dotting the foundation on, and this is a little bit darker than my skin right now. And that's okay because the goal is to have it blend in. So I'm just gonna go through and cover any spots, any redness. Now that I have that everywhere that I want it, I'm gonna go ahead and blend it in with my Morphe sponge. You could also use a bigger brush. I just feel like the sponge gives it a really natural finish. My goal today is not really to cover anything extreme. I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in the color Ivory. Now that I have all those spots covered and the area things I don't want anyone to see covered, I'm going to take a fluffy brush and then any translucent setting powder. This one's the Laura Mercier. I'm just gonna tap some in and I'm gonna take my fluffy brush. I don't want a lot because using a lot of powder can make your skin look dry and really show the makeup, which is not what we want at all. I'm just gonna use it in any areas that I put the concealer to set it. I'm also gonna put some on my nose. It does have a blurring effect from your pores. I had that foundation, it'll just set it and help keep it there all day long. Then I like to go in with my Physicians Formula bronzer, and yes, the top broke, but it's okay, we can still use it. It smells amazing. It smells like coconut sunscreen, and it's a really soft color, and it has a little bit of glow to it too. I'm just gonna go in with this butter bronzer with a big kabuki brush. And then I'm just gonna put it in the hollows of my cheeks, add some depth to my cheeks, add some definition to my jawline, and I also like to just bring it down my neck a little bit because sometimes there can be a harsh line from where it ends on your jawline to the paleness of your neck. So if you want to bring it down your neck a little bit just so there's not any harsh lines. Also gonna put it in the corners of my forehead, just kind of all around the border of my face. And I also find if you want to look really sun-kissed, I will just take the bronzer, sweep it under my eyes, and then across my nose, because realistically, that's also where the sun hits you. Time to move on with brows. I like to use the Benefit Goop Proof Brow Pencil. This one is a little bit thicker than the really precise one. I just find it lets me get things done faster. The really fine tip one works great, but it takes a lot longer. So first I'm just gonna brush out my brows. I want to brush them up. What I like to do is I like to create a line that kind of like defines the bottom of the brow. Then what I like to do is from that line do upward strokes of defining the front, I always go really light in the front, and you never want to like color it in like a coloring book. It's your eyebrow. You always want to try and replicate the way your hair is growing. So in the front, the hairs grow up, and towards the end, I try to mimic the way that they grow down. Just put in little strokes. You don't want any drastic harsh lines, otherwise it'll be really obvious that you're wearing makeup. Then I like to take the spoolie end and just brush the product through so nothing looks too harsh. Then do the same thing on the other eyebrow. Next, I like to go in with the Gimme Brow by Benefit. This is a tinted brow gel. It can be used on its own, but I usually do like to just fill in the sparse areas of my brows a little bit before going in with this. So I especially go really light towards the front, and then I just brush the hairs upwards to get a really fluffy and natural look. I don't like for them to look too messy, so I go back in with the spoolie from the eyebrow pencil and just brush over it and make sure all the eyebrow hairs are going in the direction that I want. Now that I'm done with my brows, I'm actually gonna go back in with my bronzer, and I'm gonna take like a pretty dense fluffy brush like what you would use on your crease, and then I'm just gonna dip into my bronzer, and I'm gonna take that color and I'm just gonna put it in my crease. It's just gonna give you a little bit more definition in your eyelids, but it's not gonna be as obvious as wearing a smoky eye. Then I'm gonna go in, this is the lip and cheek tint. It makes a very dewy look. Sometimes if you use a powder blush, I find that it rubs off really quick. It can also dry out your skin. I dab some on my cheeks, like wow, that's a lot going on, and then I blend it in. Okay, next I'm gonna curl my eyelashes, and then I'm gonna go in with my Too Faced mascara. Okay, and now that I have mascara on, it's time for arguably the most important part of this makeup look. I have my Anastasia Beverly Hills Sugar Glow Kit. I usually take the pink color, and I just get a lot of it, just a lot. And then I hit it with my cheekbones. Because of the cream blush that we put on earlier, highlighter is really gonna stick to your cheekbones. And I usually do little circular motions because I don't want any harsh lines. And then I'm gonna go ahead and hit the other high points of my face, like right above my eyebrows, my Cupid's bow, and the very tip of my nose. I'll take a smaller brush and I'll dip into that same color, and I'll put some highlight in the inner corners of my eyes. And then on my brow bone. And sometimes if I'm feeling really fancy about it, I'll go in with the lightest color, Marshmallow, just a little bit, and just go over the parts of my face that I really want that strong. And once you're happy with the amount of highlighter you put on, I will always just go in with some lip balm. This one's Burt's Bees. That being said, I think we're finished with this natural, glowy, everyday makeup look.